Yo, Eagles Nation, stand up.
I think it's awesome.
Yo, how'd Barkley put it? Looking like another grease pole night in Philly.
Facts. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's see how competitive you are.
We love Coach. Give us as much Coach as possible on Draft Week 2022. It's episode 93 coming at you live on a Tuesday. Hey, what a guy. Thanks for being here. It's the Grease Pole Podcast. Give us a follow on IG at Grease Pole Podcast. We're also on TikTok as well. We haven't posted one since the initial one about a month ago that we discussed, but we'll get back there immediately. Or eventually is what I meant to say. Not like right now we're going to drop what we're fucking doing and go do a TikTok. We have an episode to get to first. Rejuvenated here, man. Rejuvenated. We were talking before we came on about we'll get to draft shit, people. The draft's 48 hours away. Happy time. Full Eagles mock coming your way. But first, you ever have like just first of all, nice to recharge the batteries, yeah?
Yeah, very much so, because life as it's been the last 3 years, like the battery is almost constantly freaking empty.
Dude, isn't it though?
Yeah.
You know? And so like 48 hours to just be able to go, you know what? For an adult, not a care in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. And then
gets completely chucked out the window.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Back to the 757 we come.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, oh, okay.
This is why I needed to leave.
Yeah, I hate it here.
Yeah.
You know, not everything, but just like, yeah.
There are certain things about this area.
Yes, like that's right. It's this time of the week again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the bullshit to make an appearance. But yeah, man. First true vacay. Live mics now. First true vacay in a while.
Mm-hmm.
In a while, dude. Like no traveling circus, you know. just a vacay, man. It was nice. It was very nice. So
I saw a couple pictures. I can't remember if it was like I actually went on to Facebook to do something, or if I assume it was probably the gram.
yes, because I don't book.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, I seen you and Sean out on a boat and stuff, and I was like, oh man, that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Actually relaxing.
Yes, it was so fucking nice. It was very nice, and like, it was cool to be able to like. There's another side of life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You
Yeah.
know, not care, few brews, sand, toes in the sand. You
Yeah.
know, like yeah, not bad, dude.
I've never been a toes in the sand kind of guy, but like where we live, if you want that quick getaway, that's pretty much all you have.
There's a
you
lot.
gotta go to beach
Right.
somewhere.
There's a lot of options around here
Mhm.
for that.
You can go like 3 hours south. You can go an hour,
Yes.
east. You can go like north.
Yeah,
There's a lot
there's
of beach.
plenty. Or you can go, a few minutes away.
Yeah.
You know, might not be the cleanest. Definitely not the cleanest.
No.
But if there's water there.
Yep.
There's water around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's what you're looking for.
We actually went out to Fort Monroe Sunday afternoon. Like for a little
Okay.
walk. We didn't like beach it up. We just
Yeah.
kind of went out to there, and
Right.
I immediately clammed up because, of course, the weather has finally cleared up here,
Yep.
and so we got our like 2 days of spring,
Yep.
and we've basically jumped right 2 feet into summer.
Oh, 100%. Dude.
And Sunday was like the first big day of that,
Uh-huh.
and so Fort Monroe, wall to wall people.
Naturally.
Like, well, yeah, I get it.
Right.
Normally, I would be mad about that. I mean, my anxiety still, was triggered.
Yeah.
But like, normally I would have been mad, like, oh God,
Uh-huh.
But I was like, of course. Like, it's
Yeah, sure.
84, 85 degrees.
Yep. Everybody wants to come cook themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I'll say this, juxtaposition to shorelines here, they're great if you sans the crowds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's me anywhere, dude. Like, crowds of people, I'm weird. Unless it's a sporting event or a concert where I'm distracted.
Yep.
But just being in a crowd of people for the sake of being in a crowd of people for just Caucasian summertime activities. Like,
Yeah. Pass.
yeah, all set. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm
Crowd
good.
of people at the beach of all places, because there was a brief moment in time where I was so gross that I was t-shirt at the beach guy. But like, I've become enough of a dad that, you know, that's not going to be a thing. But I'm still conscious of, I'm gross.
Did you go shirtless though?
This Sunday, no, I didn't.
Aw,
but
man.
I do. Like, if we actually go to the beach, I definitely.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like, look, man, I get it. I'm gross. I'm the fat guy that the people are laughing at. But what am I gonna? I'm gonna sit here in a shirt at the beach. Come on.
You know what? You know what it is though. When you wear a shirt, you know what's obvious that like I'm not 160 pounds.
Yeah.
So I might as well just own this fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like yeah, it's almost like at times if you wear the shirt, you're advertising even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the first time in several years, topless at the beach this weekend. Yeah, dude. And I was like, you know what? Not fired up about everything, you know,
Yeah.
but again, end result is I can do this and I can see everything.
Yeah.
So that's a plus because
Yes.
it was not always that way. You know, go gadget neck had to happen.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Optical illusions. Oh, it wasn't always that tiny. You know, penis jokes. We're really mature here on the pod.
We are not 12.
Yeah,
I
not
swear.
not at all. You know, but yeah, dude. Topless this week at the shore, a little dune jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was really worried the knee was going to blow out though, but it did not.
Oh, God.
No Carson Wentz, so we're still here. Which yeah, if it's gonna happen, I'd rather it happen at work so I can work in workman's comp those
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
dude. Yeah.
So yeah. Although I don't know that it would be worth it because like they don't pay you 100% of your full salary, and I would argue that my full salary is bullshit anyway. But you know, I'm biased. If there's any work people that happen to stumble across this pod, nosy fuckers.
I do want to say something regarding, because it pains me to look at this video quality. I know it can be so much better. I do think that it's coming out better than it looks on that screen. I think it's better on the actual. Yeah, it's definitely better on the actual screen. But purchase the light. It'll be here tomorrow. So,
Hey,
finally,
good shit. Good
finally.
shit. Honestly, I'm so goddamn stupid. Well, maybe I'm not stupid. Goddamn. What's the word I'm looking for that is now escaping me? This is great pod. I can adjust whatever the word for that is looking for. I forgot there was no light in here.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. I don't know what the versatile.
Versatile.
Adaptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna suck my vape pen.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely something that's been bothering me over the last, I don't know, what's it been, like a month, a little over a month maybe.
It's been a month, and I've been a shitty friend because I was like, there's a cornucopia of light bulbs at the house. I'll go look. And I did not look, but I don't think there's a light bulb of that type, though.
No, man, that thing.
There's a bunch of black
it's like
lights.
105 watts. It's the thing is like this long. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
very odd
big
shaped.
ass light. Yeah,
I do have a lot of colored LED light bulbs, though.
Hmm.
Green and orange, Flyers and Eagles, naturally. So yeah, we can have fun with that. I also have red ones.
Somewhat related. That door over there, the doorway, the door jam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the things my wife and I are planning on doing is getting actual doors there. Once that happens,
Shout out to the Doors, greatest band of all time.
there is a fog machine over there
Oh fuck, dude, Undertaker.
and a disco ball.
Oh, dude,
Those will be happening during pod.
I have a Flyers. I mean, it's look, We're rivals in division alignment geographically only. We're both cheeks.
Yeah.
But
at least we're young cheeks. You're just not good.
We're confused just cheeks. Yeah, we're a mess. Over the weekend I was telling V and the kid, I was like, the Flyers are literally going to be one of the worst teams in hockey for like the next 3 to 5 years.
Probably.
It's going to be,
barring some major trade or somebody comes in that's just lights it up.
Meanwhile, look what the old Caps doing down there in Sunrise, Florida. Yeah. Killing it. 13 dubs in a row for the Ice Cats.
Probably going to the Cup.
Yep. Good for him.
They're probably going to get squashed by the Avalanche, but
more than likely. But I've said this. I told V the night the trade happened. We were over at some friends' houses. I was like, I'm not going Panthers sweater, but I will get a Panthers Giroux jersey. And I have not ordered one yet. I should, because playoffs are coming. So I should get on that. I should also get on a lot of shit that I just don't do because ADHD and procrastination. Mm-hmm. You know how fun it is to figure out that you think you have ADHD at 34 years old?
Dude, how do you think I felt at 38 when I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, I think I'm on the spectrum.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I might be too, man.
It's a thing. I mean, like a lot of people our age, because it wasn't a thing when we were kids.
No, dude.
Like not like it is now.
Yeah, it wasn't now you have all these resources and V has it, not to put her business out there. I don't think she'd mind, but so like I've done a lot of like homework on it, and like the more and more I learn about it and like we talk, it's just like
that's me.
These are all me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, I have ADHD.
I'm almost certain I have undiagnosed. That's gotten worse as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
Because it's gone undiagnosed. And at this point, actually, Chris Otto, you may have met, but possibly not.
I know we talk shit in the Discord. Is all
yeah, he's a Yanks fan. And
that guy, yes. Gross.
Sir. Screw the Yanks.
Yeah. Fuck your team.
But he got diagnosed recently. He's 50. And he got medicine for it, and he's like when I take my medicine, it's like
clarity.
Like,
yeah,
just,
dude.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like it's awesome.
Fucking
like,
yeah, dude.
It's like I don't know. You're making a case, right? I could use some clarity every now and then.
Friend,
my brain is just constantly
everywhere, dude. Everywhere. Like I have these weird moments where it happened over the weekend, ironically, for like a matter of seconds until she snapped me out of it. Where I just get like overstimulated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, and the fucked up part is like all we were doing was just like, okay, let's get some gifts for people. Let's shop for ourselves. There's racks of clothing around, and because I was lodge dude for a while, needed a new pair of swim trunks. So that became a struggle. Yeah, that became a scavenger hunt, you know. And it's like there was a brief moment there where it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna need a minute. You know,
yeah,
like, and it's weird when you're like consciously like you suppress all this shit for years and then you become like acutely aware of it and you're like, what the fuck, like what is addressing this in the moment? What is this?
Yeah,
instead of just drowning it in Jameson.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
fuck, dude.
I think the other thing that's kind of exacerbated the ADHD, like the pandemic, like just the anxiety of it, which anxiety goes hand in hand with ADHD.
Yeah.
Like they're essentially one and the same. Overstimulation.
Yes.
It's all kind of at least next to each other.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, the idea of don't go in the store, don't go in the store. And then you go in and there's people everywhere. So like,
yeah.
Even before the pandemic, if I went in the store,
the pandy,
you know, everybody's there, and I'm like, ooh,
yeah. Let me take a minute.
And then now I go in. I'm still like, depending on the store. Like, if it's a grocery store, I'm still wearing a mask. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what you say. I'm wearing a mask in the store.
Right.
I'm especially right now. I'm very sneezy, so.
Pollen.
You never know.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry. I
100%.
can wear the dumb mask for 20 minutes.
Right. Make fun of me. Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine.
Fucking face diapers.
Yeah. But the seeing everybody without them,
yeah,
doesn't bother me as much as it did. Like, because at first it's like
at its apex. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay. sidebar, ADHD. Hello, we're talking about it. Here it is.
ADHD pod. Represent everybody.
It's showing its head right now.
Yeah.
Because thinking about, I don't know if I said this on the pod or if I told you about this. So, like, in the middle of the shit, like at the very, like, we were a couple months in, like, very early on.
Right.
We went to the Blue shopping place to get some groceries. And we went, I'm going down the frozen aisle with the kids.
Yeah.
Me and the kids are in one place. My wife is somewhere else in the store.
Right.
And
ooh, two birds, one stone.
Right.
I like that tactic.
Sometimes it's got to, especially during these times, let's go as fast as possible.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we're going down. And then to my left, I just happened to look because she's standing next to, the lady's standing next to like the chicken part of the frozen section.
Yeah.
Pulls her mask down and sneezes.
Oh!
Puts the mask back up.
Oh! Well, naturally, it's because she doesn't want her own boogies all over her own face. So that means you're supposed to tolerate them. And everyone else.
I froze. Dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's when you just corral
kids?
the kids and wife and just like, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, dude.
What?
This is we live in a fucked up, like, dude.
You were smart enough to put the damn thing on.
To leave the house, yeah. And
what?
When it sneezes.
Like the reason we're wearing them.
Right, is because of what you just fucking did. And now Purdue Farms has your shit all over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You disgusting fuck.
Unreal. I couldn't believe, I wanted to yell at her. I'm just like,
You should have beat her with something in your cart. We're not against that, but yeah.
I did literally, and I'm never a confrontation guy. I did literally let out you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude.
Audible.
Right.
It's like, are you serious?
Right, dude. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. The public is the worst.
Dude.
Like it dealing
Hands
with
down.
I've found out, like, just generally, that's why, like, this weekend was so great, because it's like 9 times out of 10, like, just give me a chill night over going out and doing shit, dude. You know, but it was nice to have like a kind of a congregation of both, which is so fucking rare. But yeah, dude, like it once you become like, especially like for me, we just became like Diagnosis Pod. Mock draft coming soon eventually, as we work through our shit live on the air. But I used to have issues years, and like I've started exploring all this shit recently, because like, you know, natural, especially as dudes, you don't want to like, let's not address this at the time. Maybe are we a pussy if we do that? Like, nah, dude. Like, actually, it makes you more of an adult. And like for years, it was like I had issues falling asleep, but would wake up perfectly fine. As I've become more and more aware of like the way my brain fucking works and processes shit, like I have issues, like I don't allow myself to basically like lay down and go to bed until I'm like tapped, because it's like, if not, dude, I know I'm going to lay there and just think about like bullshit. Like Wanda Sykes has this old bit, like where she's like you lay in bed and wonder like where your high school yearbook is. Like that's what it is, dude. Like I'll just lay down and like, that's what, like the train keeps going. The only time it stops is when I'm asleep, and I don't fall asleep unless it stops. So it becomes this fucked up game of like mental tug of war, where it's like a fucking stare down of like, all right, I have to try to shut it off. And then you roll over and you look at the fucking clock and it's like 1:18.
And then you make this mistake.
You pull out the phone. Well, let me kill a game of Retro Bowl real quick. This stupid, cheesy Tecmo Bowl bootleg football game I play. Let me do that. Let me set my fantasy hockey lineup for tomorrow while I'm here. Whatever. Meanwhile, knowing the fucking alarm goes off in 3.5 hours, and then like I'm up the next day, and you walk in the door, and it's like I'm supposed to give a shit why. None of this stuff in here is a possession of mine. I do not fucking care. Like, it's weird. I was talking to a guy at work, and he was like, I have to get a full 8 hours of sleep every night. On my REM cycle and all this. I was like, dude, I run on like 3 a night during the week, man. Like, legitimately. It's fucked up. And a lot of it is because I drink a fuck ton of coffee and energy drinks or whatever else. I brought fucking one of these over and a goddamn Red Bull. Like, because we got fucking like 3 hours of pod to do tonight. So I'm like, okay. And then I got to leave, do all the other shit. You know, get ready for fucking work tomorrow, this, that, and the third. Like, it's like, leave here like I'm not done. You know how it is. And it's like, all right, like it's going to be a late one. Like if I could afford cocaine, I'd probably do it. Because also I'd lose a shit ton of weight. You know, it might not look hot because shit would be hanging there all flappy and whatnot. But you know what? We'd be good. It
does have its positives.
Yes, you know, but that's the thing.
It's mostly negatives.
For
Don't
sure.
do drugs, kids.
Well, that's, yeah, like it, you know, these drug tests and shit like that. Like, don't you think it'd be obvious if I was on something? You know, like, I mean, I dropped a good amount of weight pretty quickly, but it wasn't like overnight.
Yeah, and your face would be all sunken in.
Yeah,
Coke,
right, so. And all red. Yeah. You know, like, come on, people. But yeah, man, it's getting older is interesting, especially as your boy has a birthday tomorrow. And like, I do this weird thing where I it's stubborn season. Shout out to all my fellow Taurus out there. I don't know if Taurus is a plural. Tauruses. Tauri. Yeah, I don't know. But every year around this time, I'm like, let me like peruse a little bit because she's big into astrology and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten more into it. Like a lot of it, like for years, I was just kind of like, like one of my buddies, Ballard's huge into the shit. And I don't know what his sign is, but whatever. I'm a terrible friend. But like the more and more I look up on this shit, and I'm not like trying to sales pitch this stuff, but the more I find out, I'm like, that's me, man.
Yeah.
Like I was reading today, like, fuck it, I'll expose myself at work while I was supposed to be working. Wasn't. At least for this stretch. It was like Taurus are dangerous when provoked. And I was like, that sounds familiar. You know, just like all this other shit. Really like reluctant to let people borrow their personal items and just all this goofy shit that I'm like, this is like, you know, you think you're like quirky, like I have all these odd quirks, I'm an odd individual, and then you find out like, is it though? Or like, you know what I mean? Like it because like the more people you're around and the more whatever, like, yo, there are people out there way more fucked up than me. And God knows I have my shit. We all do. But like, you know what? I'll take my mixed bag over like 98% of the people that exist out there. And that also becomes aware to you when you're on the internet. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's why, you know, the socials are cool. And since I've kind of scrubbed mine a little bit anyway, I've been on them a little more, you know, still not running my life. But like, yeah, you know, point being, less toxic, the better your life is.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like over the weekend, it was for the most part, like the way everything was, it was more or less 48 hours without a phone, dude. It was so great. It was so great because where we were, like cell reception's not, you know, where we were, like you're not, you know, there's not Fios, mm-hmm. you know, and it's just like, this is cool, man. This is cool. I still made sure I stepped out every morning and set my fantasy hockey lineup, but because I had to do that. Quick sidebar. Apparently the Tug Nut Cup Finals is 2 weeks this year. That would have been nice to know that.
Yeah.
Because I did not know, and Joe sent a text in the group like, so I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I just cashed in all my transactions yesterday, thinking it was the final day, and then checked again at like 9:30 that night and went,
of course,
valiant effort by the Zamboners, you know, but, and he also had like 15 goals on me by like Tuesday. And I was like, oh no. And a shutout like already. I'm like, I hate him. I love him. We love you, Joe. But I'm like, this fucking guy, every time we play, it's just like,
I can't get you.
He shits on me, dude. Like it's not even fucking close. And he tried to send like the console, like the friend text. Well, I'm pulling for you. You still got a chance. Like, don't lie to me, man. No, I don't. No, I don't.
I looked, and your goalie situation was 5 wins to 1. I was like, oof.
Like we were saying, of all week, like when your goalies shat themselves against me,
mm-hmm. It's like,
my goalies have gotten me a long way.
Yeah,
and you know, we wait till the finals to go. Nah, fuck it.
Oh, P. Shaw, stopping goals.
Yeah, we're not here for that. And I'm like, okay.
Well, like I said, both of mine were sieves all year. Bob and Leonard were sieves all year, but they would still get the job done. They still get W's.
You at least get the wins, right?
You get the wins that keeps you in the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But then that one, it was like the last month where Bob didn't Bob didn't play at all one week, so like I was scrambling to keep goalies.
Yep.
And then I think the next week he finally got back in. Leonard was out for both of these weeks. So like I was already down both of my goalies. I was like, oh my God.
Christ. Yeah, dude.
And I found, I can't remember who now, but I found somebody who got me a shutout like the day I grabbed him. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, keep him in the next week.
Let's ride him out.
Immediately 6 goals the next night. I was like, all right, well, get off my team.
That's why I hate it, dude. Yeah, like it's depressing. But I mean, I guess I'll just take. I mean, apparently it's stretching out through this week, which I don't know why, because I'm dead to rights. But you know, the Zamboners will see it to the finish line. We don't have a choice. I'm not going to not set my lineup because I don't know. Maybe Joe Pavelski decides to score 8 goals in a game. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
you
fucking
never know.
knows?
Maybe the goalies show up this week and Joe's don't.
Right. Yeah, dude. We love him, but you know.
I mean, again,
I hate playing him when I see him. When I see him on the schedule in the league, I'm like,
I don't know why I have this feeling towards Mike. Like,
Mike is your. It's Mike and Joe for both of us, dude.
I don't know what it is about him. I can't beat that dude. Yeah. And it's like no matter what I do, like I can't beat him.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, the last time he and I played, like I was keeping up with him.
Yep.
And then he did my move, which is signing somebody for hits. And he signed somebody who was getting hits, and I had to drop my hits guys because I was trying to catch him in like goals or assists or something.
Yep.
Blows me away in hits. I was like, God damn it.
Of course. Yeah. Murphy's fucking law. Absolutely Murphy's law. And like dude, when I got past Mike, I was like, you know what? Because Mike was another one that like Plucky I had trouble with all year. Mm-hmm. But I could hang with him. And when I like cashed in all those transactions on the final day and beat him, I was like, no, fuck that. Fuck Joe. Love you, Joe, but fuck you. Like, no, this is our year. And then it took until like Tuesday evening to go, oh boy.
His goalie, everybody showed up.
Yeah, here we go again. Yep. You know, like it's just like our teams in real life. Only, you know, I made it to the championship.
Yeah.
You know, Flyers can't even win.
Consolation.
Yeah, we can't even win 2. We did beat the shit out of the Penguins over the weekend, though. That was fun.
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
I don't think the Devs have done anything positive of note in a month.
It's funny because 3 of the teams represented on this pod, your Devs, my Flyers, V's Kraken, are 3 of the 5 worst teams in hockey. But like I told her, like, you guys have an excuse.
Yeah, they have an excuse. They're new.
You're literally brand new.
We have a semi-excuse. We shouldn't be like one of the 5th worst in the league.
Well, I was thinking that, dude, when I saw this over the weekend and we were talking about it, I was like, the Kraken have an excuse. We're just a fucking debacle.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about you guys. I'm like, the Devs for like 3 years have been like the young team that like, they'll get there. They'll get there. And like,
it's upsetting that it isn't clicking yet for some reason.
Yeah. It's like, at some point it's gonna
like,
think,
and it needs to happen soon because we're already starting to pile up the mileage on all the young guys.
Yeah, dude, rookie contracts are gonna run out. You know, your veterans that you brought in, your PK Subban, your Dougie Hamiltons are gonna go. They're gonna put Ryan Ellis, who we traded for from the offseason, you know, for Nashville, defenseman, star, you know, whatever, was injured most of the year. We signed him to a 7-year extension after we traded for him. Traded Nolan Patrick, the whole 9. That was the dude that went 2nd overall was the year we picked 1-2, the year you guys took Heischer. We brought in Ryan Ellis, and it was like, all right, awesome. And he's been injured. And I already saw, like, he wants out. I was like, but he did. I don't blame him. I would want out too if I wasn't like a fan. And to be fair, even if I was a player and I grew up a fan, I'd probably be more like, yeah, you know what I'm trying to do? Win.
Yeah, please.
This sucks. We're terrible. I hate it here.
And there's what's the pot? Like, again, they're not cashing in on it, but at least I can hold on to that. The Devs are still young.
Yeah, well, the Flyers have done this weird thing where they've started like, now we want to call all our young guys up, which I get, but it's like,
you've been out of it for a while.
We sat Keith Yandel, who had 989 consecutive games played. First year we signed him, 11 games away from getting 1,000 consecutive starts. He already has the NHL record. He could have got to 1,000. And he's like a massively respected dude around the league. Healthy scratched him like a month ago.
Good call.
What the fuck? Like, you can't just, like, that matters when you're a team that, like, no offense, like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And you're trying to have, like, hey, come play with us in free agency. Like, no, you just, like,
You get near like big positive things,
Yeah.
we'll sit you.
and you ruined, like, he wasn't even injured. We're just like, nah, we're not going to play you. Like, and it pissed people off. Kevin Hayes, who's probably going to be our next captain, came out and was like, yeah, it was bullshit. And it's like, fuck. Like, it's misery, dude.
Yeah.
They were the team a couple years ago that I was the most confident was going to win a championship. But this is going back before the Super Bowl even.
Mhm.
I think the Flyers would get one. Because we had all this young talent. You know, Hextall was killing it in the draft, the whole nine. And I even made a bet with certain other people
Uh-oh.
that you are aware of that I was like, Flyers will win a cup in the next 5 years. And we put a significant amount of money on it. Good thing I don't speak to this motherfucker anymore.
Yeah, really.
Because boy was I wrong. You know? Fuck.
I can lay the injury excuse. I mean, it's legitimate. You know,
Yeah.
Blackwood's been out most of the year.
Yes.
And
he's young too, and you want him to get experience, but still.
And then Hughes was out for a good stretch. We did have a
Yeah.
lot of injuries, but like at the
He
same
sure
time,
was out too for a while, wasn't he?
like 2 or 3 times. So I mean, like he had one long stretch and then a shorter stretch, I think.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
Jesus, man.
Brat was out for a bit too, and he's been a
Right.
huge bright spot this season.
Yeah.
Somebody else was down. Miles Wood was down for a bit.
Good looking guy.
What a good looking dude.
Yeah.
And great hockey player.
He is.
So,
He
like,
doesn't have an island like our
No,
guy, but
no.
still hot.
So like you know, I think him and Heischer were down at the same time. So like we're down to like our third center. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. The Devs have a young Dawson Mercer, also attractive
Yeah,
for a
he had
dude.
He had a good year this year
Yeah.
too. So.
Yeah, dude. We
other
appreciate
Hughes
dude's
brother.
hotness on this pod. Yeah, Jack and
Langston.
Why am I drawing a blank on the
Well,
name?
me too. It's my team, and I can't remember. So.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Both our teams suck. All 3 of our teams suck. They're all the worst.
Yep,
But
yep. And of course, Hot Joe is a Caps fan. So
I know.
no worries there. I mean, they're probably not
I
going to
know.
the cup or nothing, but like,
God, let's hope not.
you know,
Well, I'm
he doesn't have to worry about them stinking up the joint.
gonna give him shit because it's like I know he explained to us why he's a Caps fan, but
Mhm.
like now that I'm like annoyed with him, be a Wild fan, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You're from Minnesota.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's like the the incident I was telling you about. Like I almost told V like, well, this Hot Joe's team, and then I went, oh no, wait, he's a Caps fan.
Mhm.
She's like, I thought he's from Minnesota.
Of course,
Like
the Wild
John.
are good
I
now
was like,
too. So.
right? So both Joe's teams are good,
Yeah.
and all of ours are cheeks.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
By the way, Joe also has an app because he's clearly not winning at life a lot. The Hard Work Works fitness app. Go there and Hot Joe will get you super hot for the summer and get your beach body together. Not hopefully more together than Justin and I are, but not as hot as Hot Joe. There is a happy medium for everybody. But go there and download that and give Joe your money to make you attractive. There's that. Let's do a mock, shall we? Let's 48 hours away from hearing that little jingle for about 5 hours, and I can't wait because I'm Tony Montana, and that's the pile of white shit that's on the desk with the surveillance monitors in the background. It's my favorite week every year, favorite sporting event of the year. 48 hours away, just 72 hours of just meth. It's so great. So every year we've done here on the pod is final episode before the draft starts. We drop a full Eagles mock on you, every single pick. Look, this is not, this is accuracy here because there's a very good chance 0% would be the final grade on this. But, look, if you're here, chances are you know what the purpose of a mock draft is. If not, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. These are not like, hey, this is who I think we're going to take. Like predictions. It would be awesome. I would be fucking stoked if these were the 10 dudes we walked away with. But it's just to get an idea. You know the deal of a mock draft. So this is not the entire draft. This is the 10 picks that the Birds have. And also keep in mind Howie Roseman, because he probably has a tiny penis, loves to move around a lot. There's probably going to be a lot of trading back, a lot of moving up. either or, these 10 picks are probably not the exact 10 picks that we're going to walk away with. In fact, we could walk away with 8 or 9 or come away with 11, 12, 13. It doesn't. We'll see. But as of right now, these are where we sit.
So before you hop in here,
yes,
given your druthers, would
Yep.
you rather him leave your first rounders where they are and then start doing all the trades in second round on, or would you rather he try to make a big move in the first?
I think you. So here's the thing: you stay. I think you got to stay where you're at. But if anything, I would argue you trade back. I think a lot of times when you trade up, like there's the argument, like if you love a guy enough, go up and get him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these draft night trades, if you're a team trying to move up, the GM on the other end of the phone knows you're desperate. Like they know you're moving up with the intention of leapfrogging other teams to take a specific guy. Like nobody makes a trade usually until like the team that makes the trade is on the clock. They know exactly who the fuck they're going to take. So I would prefer, if a deal is going to be made, to be on the receiving end, to be the team that moves back to get volume. Especially this draft is one where like I don't know that there's a huge difference between like the 30th best player and say the 60th best player. So if you can stockpile volume in like the third or fourth round, like I was texting V's brother earlier today, like the Ravens have 7 picks in rounds 3 and 4.
Wow.
Like their GM's going to kill it.
I was going to say
Eric DaCosta.
You can make a good squad out of third and fourth round draft
Yeah,
picks.
especially when you're the Ravens and you fucking kill it every year.
Yeah.
Not our guy. The fucking weasel. Like, and this is like, because this is like you have a lot of people that held out for the COVID year too. So like those third and fourth, fifth rounds, you're getting like a better quality of player than you normally would. It's not like a super heavy, like the top of the draft isn't the best that you'll ever have, but it's the talent is so distributed throughout the whole draft that it's like if a move has to be made, I'd rather just move back and get more picks. But you know, I didn't want to move up last year either, and we moved up for Devontae Smith. I just don't believe it. Like, I'm not big on moving up, man. That's just me.
It's rare that anybody past that first pick is worth moving up.
Well, like, yeah, man. Like, it's just there's so many now. Like, unless you're a team that's like a piece away.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs, when they gave up a shit ton to go up and get Mahomes, it was a gamble. Like everybody now is like, oh, like look how smart they are. Like Mahomes was not a lock. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Like. Yeah. They gave up. I think they moved up from like 27 to 10 to get him. Like they gave up a shit ton. Like if you're one piece away, I get it, but that is not. That is not the case with us. Yeah. That is not the case with us.
Picks, please.
Yeah, like it was the year we won the Super Bowl and we actually traded back with Baltimore. They moved up in the first round to take Lamar Jackson at 32. We moved back in the second round and took Dallas Goedert. Like if you're a piece away, even you can move back. Who cares? But you know, then I'm all for it. But, like, yeah, we need these picks. Like, you got 2 in the top 20. Like, take advantage of them. If you've got a chance to move back in the early to mid-20s where the team wants to move up if a quarterback falls and you can get, like, say, another second or third rounder, sure, do it. But I don't think anybody that is going to be there at, like, 11 or 12 is worth trading up for, except maybe Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. And even him, like, you'd have to give up both your ones to go up and get him. Like, again, too many needs. So, like, let's keep the volume. Especially, no offense, with Howie's track record, that's the more shots he takes is the more likely that we'll actually get somebody okay.
Yeah.
You know, like now, but see, now Devontae Smith worked out last year, so now he's going to get cocky and chesty.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll give him that. The trade with the Saints, he kind of fleeced him. So now he's feeling himself a little bit, which isn't good, you know? It isn't good because it's the same motherfucker that took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. And Jalen Reagor still can't figure out how to not fumble a punt, you know? And meanwhile, Justin Jefferson's killing it in Minnesota. And here,
there's a squad.
Here we are, you know, probably about to take a receiver in the first round for the 3rd year in a row.
Yikes.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yikes.
I love it here. That's the theme for this pod. We love it here.
Oy.
So, with a swig of that, because cocaine, let's go ahead and put the Birds on the clock at 15. With a 15th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State, which is kind of gross if you're a Penn State fan like me, because the hell with the fuck eyes. But by this point, I figure I've got Jameson Williams going 10 to the Jets. If he's there at 15, I think he is absolutely the pick. How he won't be able to resist his big play potential, Tyreek Hill-esque, and the ACL surgery now. There's, Jameson Williams is probably going to be good after 4 to 6 weeks. You take that during the playoff stretch if you can. You couple that with Devontae Smith. But I don't think Jameson Williams is going to be there. I do not. If he is, he's the pick. I think Drake London's probably gone as well, which leaves, and Garrett Wilson could be as well. So that leaves your choice of receivers, and it's going to be the third year in a row we take a receiver. People accept it. Chris Olave, he's not huge, right? He's just taller than 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's the best route runner in this draft, right? He's a playmaker on all 3 levels. He's able to find that soft spot in zone coverage, can line up anywhere on the field, inside or outside. He doesn't have elite speed, right? He's not a burner. He ran a 4.39 at the combine, but he's fast enough to be able to stretch a defense vertically, which is all you need. You put him with Devontae Smith, I think it's good things can happen, right? The goal here is to be able to see if this is the year for Jalen Hurts to prove that he can be the guy moving forward, right? That's why Howie made this deal with New Orleans, to be able to go back and get another first rounder next year, so he's got more ammo to move up potentially for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, or maybe Anthony Richardson out of Florida if, he develops. But you have to be able to maximize Jalen Hurts. You have to. And I think the best way to do that, Jalen Reagor is irrelevant here. Devontae Smith, I was wrong there. I will own that. He had a good rookie year and set franchise rookie records. Like, that's what he did. So you need another receiver, though. You have to. Jalen Reagor is a bust. I think, if anything, he could use a change of scenery, and I think he'd be all right elsewhere maybe, but he needs to get the hell out of Philly, and you can't just keep relying on dudes like Greg Ward. Quez Watkins is great, but he's not a number 2. You want him as your third receiver at best. And Olave gives, that's a nice one too, with Devontae Smith and Olave. And I can see Olave very much as a guy that Howie Roseman could like. As much as I can't stand the team he played for in college, dude's a professional. He's a playmaker, and he makes all the sense in the world. I hate to say it, at 15 for the Birds. So with the 18th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select George Karloftis, edge rusher out of Purdue. This is a situation where you kind of, I could see how Karloftis being potentially his best player available on the board. He's a physical pass rusher. He's got a great first step. His hands and his hips explode off the line of scrimmage. He's got a tremendous punch, active hands. He can bend the edge. He works his way back inside when his depth reaches the quarterback. The only knock on Karloftis I can see is that he knocks on the door a lot. He doesn't always break it down. So will that translate to the NFL level? Will he get sack production at the NFL level? I believe that quarterback pressures are still worth something, but if you take a guy this high, his ass better be able to get home. And that's the risk you take with a guy like Karloftis. And I can very much see... For me, it depends on – there's been a lot of Trent McDuffie. I think Devin Lloyd is a guy that a lot of Eagles fans would like. He's probably the popular pick. I had him at 3 on my big board. We did the big board episode a month ago. I love Devin Lloyd, but I'm just going off the track record here. Howie Roseman does not value linebacker like that. He does not. This team hasn't taken a linebacker in the first round since 1979. We've talked about that. That's been beaten to death throughout this entire draft process with the need at linebacker for this team. And that's not, obviously, Howie hasn't been the GM of this team since 1979, but again, to the point, it's a trend. And I don't know that while I would love Devin Lloyd, for me, these 2 picks are going to be some combination of receiver, edge rusher, and corner. I think if a Derek Stingley somehow falls to 15, that's whose name gets called. There's all kinds of scenarios that can happen. Sauce Gardner, if he somehow falls to like number 10, does Howie make a call to his former protege Joe Douglas and try to move up for a Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati? Maybe. Karloftis just feels like an Eagle to me. He sounds like an Eagle. He looks like an Eagle. He plays like an Eagle. I heard Chris Long say this. He reminds him a lot of Brandon Graham, who made the only play in Super Bowl 52 on defense for this team. Not a sexy pick, not a great pick, but at this point, I shouldn't say not a great pick, a solid pick. But at this point, you figure all the edge rushers, your top 10 is going to be loaded with the elite top end pass rushers. None of those dudes are making it out of the top 10. You're going to have to move up to get them. I don't think Jermaine Johnson even makes it past Baltimore at 14. Like, the edge rushers are the strength of this class. At this point, Karloftis is the best you've got available. He fills a need. Brandon Graham is fucking 34. We love him, but he's old. Derek Barnett got brought back on a sympathy deal, and that leaves Josh Sweat, who was a Pro Bowl, like a 9th alternate. We love Josh Sweat. He was a local guy here, but you need to rejuvenate what was once a strength for this team, and that's what Karloftis would do. So let's move to Friday night, the second round, 51st pick overall. This is where we address the linebacker position with Chad Muma, linebacker out of Wyoming. And he's one of my favorite players in this draft. You'll see the comparisons a lot of times. White linebacker, right? Also went to Wyoming. He'll get comped a lot to Logan Wilson, who we loved 2 years ago on this pod. Cincinnati took with the first pick of the third round 2 years ago. And he's had a great career so far. With Muma, you can see his football IQ on film. He reads the play very quickly. He's able to go and snuff it out. He's very fluid in space. He covers a ton of ground laterally from sideline to sideline. He racks up a shit ton of tackles. He's got great closing speed. He's able to beat offensive linemen to the spot. He hits gaps quickly on a blitz. And the best thing about him is he puts on a tackling clinic. You watch his form on tape, and he's got perfect tackling form. There's a lot of dudes that come to the league and just want to throw their body at guys, right? Because in Madden, you have a dive button. You have to be able to tackle at linebacker, and Chad Muma's a monster. Guys like him are the reason why if Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean, who I like a lot too, we had him at 5 on the big board. If a linebacker's name is not called on Thursday night, please don't shit yourself, because it's probably not going to, so don't go in expecting it. I think if you can walk away from the second round with a guy like Chad Muma, and now you have Hassan Reddick as well, like that's the start of something here with this linebacking core. You know, Muma's not... He's not a sexy pick. He's not a Nakobe Dean. He's not a Devin Lloyd. But Muma is every bit as serviceable as those dudes. And you get him with value here. Like we said, to me, there's every bit. The difference between like the 25th best player and the 50th player in this draft isn't drastic. If you're able to land a guy like Muma here, it makes all the sense in the world. Doesn't mean how he's going to do it, but this is a spot where I can absolutely see him taking linebacker. It is very much a need for this team. It's a huge need, and it makes perfect sense here with the 51st pick. Speaking of needs, as we go to the third round, with the 83rd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Marcus Jones, cornerback / kick returner out of Houston. This was one of the Eagles' pre-draft visits, right? So was Chris Olave, for that matter. You get 30 pre-draft visits every year, which just because you bring a guy in does not necessarily mean this is who we're taking. A lot of times it's to clear up character stuff, to sit down to get to know a guy better. Again, you get 30 of them. No team has 30 draft picks, okay? So take it with what you will, but this was one of the guys that Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni and crew wanted to bring in for a pre-draft visit. And he's one of these guys that's one of the more versatile players in this draft. He's very undersized for a corner at 5'8", 185, but he plays way above his frame. He's twitchy. He's got great initial burst and closing speed. He matches wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. He's got fluid hips to transition downfield. He can square up and wrap up as a tackler. And he doesn't get burned very often because he has elite top-end speed. And not to mention, as we said, he's one of the most prolific kick returners, return specialists in college football. So not only do you get somebody who is viable at corner, and again, that size at the NFL level we'll see, but he does play above his frame. And when you can add that return element, though, to the game, now you take Jalen Reagor's sorry ass and you can get him out of that kick returner, punt returner role. He's no longer there. He's irrelevant. You can give that to Marcus Jones. And when you have a Darius Slay, who's a Pro Bowler, we love Darius Slay. Zach McPherson, was a 4th rounder last year. Like this group of corners is very young. It's very young. It needs to be addressed. For years, corner can't be neglected anymore. The secondary's been neglected since the Jim Johnson days. Yet with these spread offenses now, you can't just roll Darius Slay out there and be fired up about it. He's great. He's awesome. But he needs a running mate out there. He does. And I think Marcus Jones not only fits that mold, but you get the return aspect as well. And as you start getting further into the draft, the third round isn't very deep. We're only at the 83rd pick right now. The more dudes can do, the more value you get out of them, the better they are. And I'll give Howie Roseman that. He does value versatility. This is a guy I can very much see being an Eagles pick in a couple days. On to a little deeper in the third round with 101st overall pick, Marquise Hayes, guard out of Oklahoma. 3-year starter at Oklahoma. He played in multiple schemes, right? So that benefits the running game for the Birds as well. Guys like Miles Sanders. He's one of the best pass blockers in this class is Marquise Hayes. He's got violent hands. He finishes defenders. He plays to the whistle. He's a tenacious competitor. I love watching this guy on tape. The thing with him is he plays a little too upright, but if there's a coach that can work on that, it's Jeff Stoutland, one of the best offensive line coaches in the game. So yeah, you can take a guy like Hayes here and you can correct those technique issues with a guy like Stout. I think this is a huge pick, or would be potentially. I think guard at some point has to be addressed because you just lost an all-pro guard in Brandon Brooks in retirement. That's huge. That's huge, especially, again, if this year's about Jalen Hurts and trying to figure him out and what he's got, you got to keep his ass upright. You have to. We say that every year with any quarterback. It's applicable to anybody. You've got to keep your quarterback upright to be able to evaluate him properly. And as you see in the photo, Marquise Hayes blocked for Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. Not that matters, but there's that. It fills a need. I like the value here with the 101st pick. Yeah, this makes me happy, which means it probably won't happen. So let's go to day 3. 4th round, 124th overall pick. The Birds take Charlie Kolar, tight end out of Iowa State. And at some point this has to be addressed, and we'll get to that. But for Kolar, he's intelligent. He was an academic Heisman. He's got a great size and catch radius, and he's versatile as well in the passing game. He can do a lot. He can turn around and present a quick target to the quarterback, or he can stretch the field on intermediate routes. He can do a lot of things for you at the tight end position. He's got a nice release from the line of scrimmage. He's a good route runner for his size as well. And he's able to create separation and work his way back towards the quarterback. And you have to remember, too, Sirianni ran a lot of 12 personnel, right? For those who don't know what 12 personnel is, it's 1 running back and 2 tight ends. A tight end number 2 to Dallas Goedert is sorely needed for this offense. You can't keep trotting out Richard Rodgers and shit. Like that, the next tight end behind Dallas Goedert this year, I think, had like 4 catches. Like, that's just, if you're going to run 12 personnel that much, which a lot of teams do now, that's not exclusive to Sirianni. 12 personnel is a thing now. You have to be able to have a second tight end. You have to. And with Ertz going to Arizona now, who's going to be the Dallas Goedert to Zach Ertz that he served to Dallas Goedert? You have to have one. I love the fit here for Charlie Kolar and this team. I think the value here is great. The tight end class, you've got quite a few dudes that have it. There's no great elite tight end in this class. There's not a Kyle Pitts from last year, but you've got Trey McBride out of Colorado State, Cade Otton out of Washington, Greg Dulcich out of UCLA, Isaiah Likely, Coastal Carolina. Kolar is one of my favorite players in the draft. I like this dude a lot, and I think he's a perfect fit for this team and what he needs. And at this point in the draft, he makes a shit ton of sense. Right around here is where he's going to go. Let's move to the 5th round. This is a funny pick. 154th pick overall. Matt Araiza, I believe is how you say the guy's name. The punter out of San Diego State. He's nicknamed the Punt God. That's all you need to know. This dude's name, you saw him all over the place this year. If you're locked into college football, you've heard his name. The dude has consistent power and incredible touch. I'm going to give you some numbers from this dude, the Punt God, in 2021, okay? This last season, he had 39 punts, 39 punts of 60 yards or more, 6 punts of 70 yards or more, and 2 punts of 80 yards or more. 38 of his punts were down to inside the 20. That is fucking incredible, right? He had a punt against Air Force that traveled 88 yards in the air from his own end zone. Think of how difficult it is to be able to punt from your own end zone when everybody's backed up and jammed up. From his own end zone. 88 yards in the air. Unreal. That's mythical shit. San Diego State, too, the Aztecs ran a lot of pro-style offense. So there's really no transition to the NFL in terms of him being able to get the ball out quickly. A lot of times you'll see that from college to the NFL. The Aztecs already ran pro-style offense, so he's able to get the ball out quick and do it with accuracy, consistency, distance, the whole nine. Look, I get it's a punter, man. I do. But Aaron Siposs was shit last year. Dude was cheeks. I don't even like saying the guy's name. He's that bad. Okay. Punter, you can't, like, it's fun to knock punters because they're punters, right? But you got to, look, the value of being able to flip the field position in this game is huge. And to be able to have somebody that's able to do that for you, just like a kicker, right? Imagine being a Ravens fan and trotting out Justin Tucker with the game on the line, how confident you feel, right? Just like having Adam Vinatieri back in the day. Fuck that guy, but it's just like having him back in the day. Like, you don't appreciate a good kicker or a punter until you don't have one. Straight up. And, you know, for years we had him, we had him with Jake Elliott and long ball Donnie Jones, who retired after the Super Bowl. Now we've been trying to stabilize the punter spot ever since. Cameron Johnston was great for a couple years. He was, buddy from last year with the goofy name. Get the hell out of here. Let's get the punt god from the Aztecs and stabilize this shit for at least a while so we can, do the flip the field position thing. Let's move on further into the 5th round. A few picks later, 162nd overall. Hassan Haskins, running back out of Michigan. And at some point, I think another running back is going to be drafted. You look at, Miles Sanders is on the last year of his rookie contract. The team likes Kenny Gainwell a lot. I expect Kenny Gainwell to get involved more this year as well. Again, this is a team that finished the last half of the year, finished the NFL and led the NFL in rushing yards, rushing attack, after basically having none for the first 8 weeks of the year, right? So if that trend continues, you're going to need fresh legs. You're going to want to rotate dudes. I know a chunk of that was Jalen Hurts, but still, Miles Sanders, who does get hurt sometimes. You've got Kenny Gainwell, who I like a lot, and so does the team, but you still want to have another guy in there, and I think Haskins fits that bill. He runs with low pads. He's very physical. His legs stay moving through contact. He's got everything you want from good lateral quickness to short area quickness. He's great in short yardage and goal line situations. That's an element that this team could use because as much as I love Miles Sanders and his yards per carry, and same with Kenny Gainwell, he's not somebody you can punch in at, 4th and goal on the 1.5 yard line. Same with Miles Sanders. Haskins is that guy. He's also effective in the passing game out of the backfield. Final point on him that you can't emphasize enough, he's excellent in pass pro. Miles Sanders, who I like, the more you can do from a running back standpoint, again, this is when you start getting to, this point in the draft, the more you can bring to the table is what makes you stand out against other people. You're going to have a lot of running backs on the board at this point still. Ty Chandler, Zonovan Knight, NC State. There's going to be dudes there, but I just think Hassan Haskins brings the most valuable skill set because not only what he can do on the ground, short yardage situations in the passing game, and he's able to, he's good in pass protection. That is crucial if you're going to be an offense running RPOs, especially no offense to Jalen Hurts. He doesn't always do it that well. Haskins, I think, will be a great pick, great value at this stage in the draft. Few picks later, yet again, 5th round we stay, the 166th pick overall. Let's take another white linebacker. We love white linebackers here in this mock. Micah Mcfadden, linebacker out of Indiana. He's got great instincts, a good football IQ. He's effective as a blitzer, as an off-ball linebacker. He can drop into coverage and read a quarterback's eyes. He doesn't have the elite speed, right? He's a 5th round pick for a reason. Are going to go there about this range, but he can play sideline to sideline. He keeps his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. He's a very good tackler. This is one of these guys where you're not going to see, like Micah McFadden wouldn't be a week 1 starter for this team more than likely, right? But again, special teams. You can't understate the value there as well. A lot of times on defense now, too, you don't have dudes that are playing 70-some snaps a game anymore. You just don't. Look at the way this defensive line works. You have to be able to rotate dudes. And I think Micah McFadden, linebacker, injuries, the position's a little thin for this team. And you add him as a special teamer as well. At this point, that's what this point in the draft is about. And Micah McFadden at this point presents great value. It's a need position as well. Again, linebacker is a gaping fucking hole for this team. And yeah, it makes all the sense in the world to me. And, shout out to Indiana because why not stay in the Big Ten, right? We love white linebackers here on the pod. Sarcasm, obviously. 7th and final round, final pick with the 237th pick in the draft. Let's close things out with a center. Doug Cramer out of Illinois. We've talked very often here when we put the big board out. I was honest with him. I knew Tyler Linderbaum was not going to be the pick of this team. I knew it. I thought maybe when there were 3-1s that maybe there was a slight hope. Jason Kelsey's going to retire. We've been talking about this for years now. He's hinted at it for 3 years in a row. You're going to need a guy. Landon Dickerson can play center, yes, but he can also play guard. You just lost Brandon Brooks, an all-pro guard, as we said. It makes more sense to me to replace one center now as opposed to eventually 2 guards. Get you the heir apparent in there that can learn from Jason Kelsey, who's a fucking legend in this locker room in this city that'll never, ever pay for a drink in Philly ever again. It makes perfect sense. And at this stage in the draft, I'm not saying that Doug Cramer is going to be the heir apparent, the incumbent center, but at this stage in the draft, like a lot of times these dudes don't even make rosters. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Both our 7th rounders last year, actually we had 3. All 3 of them made the final 53-man roster. So you never know. I'm not saying that he would make the roster, but at this stage, he's worth a gamble as a 4-year starter at center at Illinois. He plays low. He anchors well. He's got those square pads, and he keeps defenders in front of him. He's better as a run blocker, as a pass blocker, but he's still effective in pass pro due to his quickness. He's fast off the snap. He keeps his head on a swivel. The experience that you get here alone from a guy like Cramer is worth a 7th rounder. You know, at this point, you're pissing the wind, right? You've done your homework on guys. You know who's there. You know what they bring to the table. But center to me is going to be, it's not right now immediately, but it is going to be a massive fucking need for this team when Jason Kelsey retires. Yes, you can move Landon Dickerson over. I know that. But you move him over, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. He's played guard at the NFL level. He played guard in Alabama as well. He's capable of playing center. You might as well, to me, it makes more sense to leave him there as opposed to try to move him to center. And that you're going to have to replace him either way. So why not leave him at left guard and then take you a center to replace him? So I know it's not going to be Linderbaum. I know it's not. It's fun to pretend and fantasize, right? But Cramer at this spot in the draft makes all the sense to me. I hope, whether it's here or not, whether it's Cramer or not, I would like to be able to come away from this draft with a center. You know, Luke Wattenberg out of Washington even. Like some points, you know, with one of these late 5th rounders or this final pick, again, like we said, Howie's probably going to move and jockey up and down the board a little bit. We could end up coming away with a 6th rounder that we don't have right now. Things are going to move. I'd like to see the center position addressed at some point during this draft. It just has to be, at least to get another arm in there to, you know, scout team and things like that during the off season. So what do you think? Give me your thoughts. Who do you want the Birds to take? Hit me up at Grease Pole Podcast. Feel free to comment. It gives me chills, dude. It gives me chills, man. Like the best part of it is it's been the same sound for years.
Yeah.
It's been unchanged.
Yeah.
We fucked with so much.
Mm-hmm.
DVDs are obsolete now. Even Blu-ray.
How insane.
We stream everything. But you know what remains the same in this time of constant change? The draft jingle. It's so great.
Had to get one more in there.
Well, like the best thing about that is like the draft. And look, I lock in for 3 days. But the best thing is you can go and you can get you another beer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that sound and you know, like, yo, Commish is walking to the stage, Dickhead Goodell, I got to haul ass back out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, hey, we're coming, you know? So, yeah, dude, like if you're going to make a beer run or get some more wings or whatever, you hear that in the other room, you know what time it is. Oh, side note, by the way, beer this weekend on the shore.
Went okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, dude.
Relaxing times.
Little Bud Heavy, king of beers.
There you go.
Yeah, man. They didn't have Yingling.
Well, you always want a lager.
Yeah, but
You
I
know-
was like, the options were limited where we were at, and she was like, "Do you want a beer?" And I'm like, "You know what? I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Let's do it."
I never gave a shit about lager until I started hanging out with my friend Plummer.
Okay.
He's from State College.
Yep.
And
We are.
he showed up just 12er after 12er of Yangling all the time.
Yep.
And I started calling him lager because I would go up with him to State College. He's like, let's just get a 12er of lager. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
kind of adopted it.
Yingling are great. That's always been my beer when I do.
I couldn't even tell you if I like it anymore. I probably wouldn't.
It's
Not at
very
this
a very
point.
distinct taste.
I used to love it because you can just
So
down it.
great. So great.
Doubt it anymore.
Yeah, well, it you know, once you become an adult, and the goal isn't,
How fast?
yeah,
And how much?
it's not a competition anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a we're puffing our chest out like South Park. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like how much can
Mhm.
we drink? You know, you know what you can do? Enjoy a drink every now and then.
Mhm.
Take the edge off like an adult. Side note, we might have talked about this before here on the pod. My backup beer. I have not gone this route since I'm re-ingratiating myself to the culture, but my backup beer was always Molson,
Wow.
Canadian brews.
Look at you.
Molson and Labatt's, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to our neighbors of the north, the friendly Maple Leaf.
I told you this before. I don't want to say hooked because we only got the 1 pack, but we went to Montreal one year before 9/11, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the Expos game trip, right?
Yep.
Shout out Expos.
And so we're in Montreal. We go to the mall, and they have what amounts to a Rite Aid. You know,
Okay.
I guess it would
Friendly pharmacy is
Yeah.
what they call it in Canada.
and in the mall. And so we go there.
Good for them.
There's beer, and we're like, let's get something Canadian. Heck, HEK. Yo.
Solid?
I'll just say this. It put us on our asses.
Okay. Which was the goal back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you because, like, you can't get it here. So I
Naturally.
couldn't drink it as a sober man,
Yeah.
or I couldn't drink it even post that trip.
Right.
So I have no idea if it was any good, but we loved it because it didn't take much to 5 of us just on our asses for the weekend.
Let's find Canadians. Let's find a
Yeah.
Canadian friend.
Hey, if you're listening to this and you're from Canada,
Yeah. Taylor actually from the hockey league lives in Canada.
Oh, really?
I'm not exactly sure where, but yeah, she lives in Canada.
Oh.
So, yeah. Send us some heck.
Yes, please.
You know?
If it's still a thing, HEK.
Yeah.
Heck,
Good for them, man.
you know,
We're a super pro Canada pod.
that's true. We don't blame Canada. We love Canada.
No, we don't. We blame ourselves.
We're the
here.
problem.
Yeah. Yes.
We are definitely the
Yes.
problem.
Yeah. We as in the country and we as in white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We just lost the people that said we're too woke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I guess we should go wake our asses out of
We're
here.
canceling now. We're canceled now.
Yeah.
Because
oh,
we're woke.
damn, dude.
Because all those things.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Perfect time to cancel. At least we got our mock out there so everybody can see how inaccurate we are. So there's that. We will be back here hopefully on Friday to chop it up about how Howie's hopefully not pissed us off and take a look at who's still on the board going into night 2 of the draft and day 3 as well. Happy draft week, everybody. It is. See you later on this week. And for the love of God, speaking of beer, have some nearby just in case Howie pisses you off, because it's more than likely going to happen. We will see you later in the week. Enjoy the draft. As always, go Birds. Yo, how'd Barkley put it? Looking like another grease pole night in Philly.
Facts.
Birds.
Go Birds!
That would be great.